think there's something really crucial here as well. It's like not every therapist is the right therapist for you, for starters. And in your case, it was really messed up. But I mean, not every therapist is the right therapist for you. And it's okay to go until you find someone that's like the right fit for what you've been through.
Yeah.
And you've been through some seriously heavy stuff. And
I've been through probably 7 or 8 therapists over the past couple of decades. That's 19, 15, 16 years ago, whatever. Math is bad. So, but you're going to find the right or wrong therapist. Don't give up. And then you might find a therapist who helps you for a season of your healing. And then you realize, oh, this person helped me to this stage. Now I need to go to the next stage. And that's okay.
Yeah. I'm curious, what helps you to not, a lot of people are ashamed of their past, even though it's a past they wouldn't choose. And they look at it and they think, well, because there's this idea that I'm the reason this stuff happened to me. And it's like, man, you were a kid. You were a kid. You didn't pick this. How do you get past the shame of what you experienced to get to the place where in a public platform like this, you're able to share your story and touch the hearts of many, many people?
I want to say it's community, whether whatever happened to you is like as a child or as an adult. As an adult, we make our own choices, but we don't create every choice that we're pushed into making. Okay. So as a kid, yeah, you can pass the buck to the adults around you legitimately. I mean, let's just be honest. Adults should be protecting us.
Yeah.
As an adult, there's often situations that we're put into that we find ourselves in that we're like, oh my gosh, the people around me and the things I'm doing are not the choices I want to make. And that's part you, part them sometimes. It's complicated. I get it. So I want to say 2 things. Number 1, go find a professional that's seen 1,000 of your situations play out in life and ask them what's real. You can't see what's real from your current situation. Don't take on anything until you talk to a professional and help sort out, this is for me to work on, and this is for all those other people who I need to like deal with in a different way. That's for them to work on. That's not my crap. Own that separation. Talk to a professional. That's number 1. Number 2, community. Jonathan, the reason we're having this conversation, the reason I agreed to be on your show, the reason my team flagged it and said, hey, this Jonathan guy has the real deal, is because this is what's helped me survive. My first podcast started in 2013 called I Share Hope. And it's still out there. We haven't recorded an episode in probably 5 years, but we get comments on it all the time. We interviewed 125 world leaders who were using hope in some way, that whether it was through their faith, their religion, their power, their money, their just willpower, their athletic ability, where they were born, whatever. Just they were people of hope. Because when I started that, I was not a person of hope. That community of people changed my life because they were willing to show up on my podcast. I was a nobody. I still am in the world. They were willing to show up. I had heads of state, Olympians, Nobel laureates, heads of homeless shelters who were homeless for 20 years and now we're leading homeless communities, tribal leaders, Olympians, like you name it, showing up, talking to me, like answering questions about hope, why they have it, how they use it, why is it productive, why is it real versus bullshit. Like those people changed my life. Jill changed my life. My kids changed my life. My closest friends who knew I was going to change my life. It's the community around you. And that is, man, you ask, why am I able to like step up and talk about this stuff? It's because so many people have done the same thing for me and invested in me this way and given me a chance to then speak back. And now it's normal to me because you, dear listener, right now, dear viewer, like whoever you are, wherever you are right now, you are okay. You're normal. You're not an oddball because of what's happened to you or what you've been involved in. There are billions of us on this planet. There are millions of people who've experienced what you've experienced. You're not alone. Find your people. Find your people.
So important because it seems to be this celebration of I did this myself. We live in, and I think about how like social media has really sort of pushed this self-made idea. And we're not, as human beings, I don't believe we're wired to live in isolation at all. We wouldn't be sitting here talking over the internet, video conferencing, if it wasn't for, someone like Nikola Tesla, who's like, let me try something besides DC and let's try this alternating current idea. I'm getting into my physics nerdery here, but anyways, like we have enjoyed a level of, to some degree, success in life, but we're only here because this guy had this visionary mind to go, let me explore this concept and see what can happen. So the idea that any one of us is like self-made or I did this myself is like the biggest, I think, really one of the most damaging myths that we can ever really buy into, because it takes us away from, the thing that's so crucial that you've just been describing here, community, and our great need of that, and how it elevates you and makes you better. And you wouldn't be doing what you're doing without that.
Mm-hmm. So true.
And so I'm curious then, how did you meet your wife, Jill? And when you met her, maybe you didn't spill us on like the first date or something, but, at some point in time, it comes out like, this is the things that I'm wrestling with in life. And was she aware of that before you got married?
She was aware of it right before we got married. I told her while we were engaged a very small piece, and then she was fully aware when we were 27.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together since we were 17.